Hey everybody, Teresa the AI Quilter here, and whether you're joining me on my YouTube channel or you've become a member of the AI Quilt Guild or you're seeing a snippet of this in my Instagram and Facebook pages, I'm so glad you're here. A little while ago, I asked folks to ask me questions about artificial intelligence. And I want to acknowledge that asking someone to ask questions in a very public forum like Instagram can be very vulnerable, especially if you think that other people know stuff, that is just common sense. And this random stranger is asking you to put yourself out there. So I really appreciate the engagement. I answered another question earlier, a comment earlier. But this one comes from the waterspirit.inspired craft. And they ask, can it, meaning AI, help me write a pattern? And so the first thing that I would say back is it all depends on what your definition of writing a pattern is. Is it coming up with, I don't know why my nose is itching, coming up with a design inspiration that you then turn into a quilt? Absolutely yes. Can it come up with the actual design? Well, I've definitely seen some work in the area of taking traditional blocks and you tell a platform, I want a quilt of this dimension with these types of blocks, and it can generate that. But if you want something, unique and new and different, my advice as far as that goes is, do the work, my answer will always be use AI as the tool that it is intended to be and don't expect it to deliver the actual outcome, right? Even when we use a calculator, we still know the fundamentals of 2 plus 3 equals 5. And so if we had a calculator that told us that 2 plus 3 equals 6, the first thing we're going to do is go back and check our inputs. Did we actually accidentally hit 2 times 3? Right? And if it still returns 6, we're going to know that that's a faulty calculator. Very similarly with AI, you can't expect perfection out of it, and you need to be willing to put in the work. So I say design inspiration very intentionally. Once you get that design inspiration, then you have to translate it into fabric. If what you mean in pattern writing a pattern, that you're trying to articulate step by step how someone can achieve the same result you did, again, the answer is yes, with a caveat again that at some point you need to have a human in the loop of that process. So what do I mean by a human in the loop? I mean that you start with that request to the AI platform, and you plus maybe a tech writer, a pattern tester, someone else not inside your brain and not just a computer, reviews those step-by-step instructions, follows them, and validates that indeed they can achieve the same result. Right? I mean, that's why there are test kitchens for, major recipe books, especially, pre-internet, the Pillsbury test kitchen and whatever. People would come up with a recipe and then it would be tested to ensure it could be replicated. Similarly, you can certainly use AI to help you wordsmith something, or even, frankly, you could ask AI to give you some guidance and step-by-step on items to consider as you're building out your pattern, an order that makes sense. Although if you're a quilter, you probably have 1,002 patterns that you can sort of lean on for a general gist of how it should be. You may also struggle with, how do I articulate this thing that I've just done here in words. And to that, I would say, do voice to text on your phone, or if you have a computer, that does voice to text, start a Word document and just talk through the process. And in talking through that process, you'll get a bunch of text on a screen. Go through it, because text to speech still can struggle with homonyms, right? Go through that, make sure it looks clean. You don't have to format it. It can be just a stream of consciousness. And then present that to an AI platform and say, I am trying to describe this chunk of text in a step-by-step way for someone who has never quilted before, if that's what, you're going after, the beginner market or the intermediate market. I am trying to describe this process step by step. Please rewrite this glob of words into something that closely resembles what I've given you, but in a way that the audience can receive it. And then the thing that I would say with that is, you've got to then review that and make sure that looks clean. And you can even tell the AI to ask you questions where things aren't clear. And it will help you find those gaps in your pattern writing. But at the end of the day, get another person involved. There are some amazing tech writers in our community, in the quilt community. I've had a couple that have been recommended to me. So I would say, reach out and find a tech writer. Have a friend, read through it. And if they're a quilter also, maybe they test it out for you. And I know there's a lot of controversy as we navigate when is it appropriate to ask someone for, help to volunteer and test your pattern, and when is it appropriate to pay for it. And I think there will never be a one-size-fits-all solution. In my daily life, I help companies develop technology, and there are times when we ask valued people in the market, valued customers of ours, to test our products. And often the exchange that occurs is that they are getting alpha visibility into where our roadmap is heading. And so for some quilters, that's enough. For other quilters, it may not be. And so, you've got to make the decision that's right for you in terms of compensation, both when you're asking to have a pattern tested and as a potential pattern tester. What are you okay with in terms of compensation on both sides of that equation? But anyway, at the end of the day, you've got to have human beings in the loop, that, closed loop process from idea to first draft, second draft, etc., until you get it to a place that you really like it. So again, thank you so much for the question. Regardless of where you're seeing this video, I hope you are following me on all of the other channels. I welcome you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Join the AI Quilt Guild. Right now we're doing a lot of foundational conversation around artificial intelligence, but we will be moving into some really fun stuff, and hopefully you're already getting a sense of it from some of the videos that I'm sharing around what's possible when you combine AI and quilting. Stay tuned, and again, to the waterspirit.inspiredcraft, I say thank you for the question, and to everyone else, keep them coming. Thanks.